Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to check out the remainder of September being set up in this journal for my weeklies. I'm still in South Korea, metaphorically speaking, and I'm going to be using more inspiration from there to decorate my weekly spreads. So let's go. So continuing my bullet journey in South Korea, I'm starting out the first weekly spread in a place called Bukchon, Hanok village. Now this is a village that's set up and left as it was, as if it was 600 years ago. So it's very traditional and it shows all the Hanoks, which basically means a traditional Korean house, all lined up down these old world streets, and then you can see the modern Seoul city in the background. So it looks really impressive to go to, and I loved the architecture of it. So from what I read, this spot just sounds incredible. It has tea houses and restaurants and cultural centres all within this old village that gives you a real traditional experience of how Korean culture was back 600 years ago. So it sounds really impressive, and I feel like if I went to South Korea, you'd have to go see this part of it just to see how it was and where they had come from. So when I was doing some research finding the right image to use as reference for this, I found this awesome shot that was on Pinterest, which had a girl in this traditional hanbok, which is the traditional Korean dress that they would wear for like festivals and ceremonies and celebrations. But yeah, walking down this street. So it felt like it kept with my theme of having this traveling girl. So I thought she's dressed up in the Korean attire here and having a wander through the village. On the right-hand page, I thought I'd add washi tape as my borders, and I think this, having that gold in there, really makes this page stand out. I'm really happy using those washi tapes as borders. So I've kept everything quite simple and just in the black and gold, but I think it turns out really nice because it gives you that classic feel as well, which makes me think of the South Korea vibes, especially in this traditional town of Bukchon, Hanok village. And then we're moving on to the second page, which is week 3 of September. And I've decided to theme this one around a place called Jeju Island. So this place is a huge spot for tourism. There's wonderful beaches and waterfalls, and then there's theme parks and hiking trails, and it's very big with honeymooners. But the main key ingredient is that at the center of the island is the South Korea's highest mountain called Mount Halasan, and it's actually a dormant volcano as well. So there's a crater in this that's 400 meters in diameter across the top of the volcano. So the drawing that I wanted to do for this is a little bit of a landscape shot showing the Jeju volcanic island that's in the center of Jeju Island as a whole. And I've put a statue in front, which is actually found all throughout Jeju Island, and it's called a dol hareubang, and it's basically a stone sculpture carved from the volcanic rock. And they're like this old looking grandfathers. They're all very stylized with these bulging eyes and these hats, mushroom looking hats. And they've always got their hands resting on their bellies, which I found interesting. I also read that these sculptures are known to be good luck for when you're trying to have a baby, and they believe that they're fertility gods. So some people will actually rub parts of the statue, the nose if they're wanting to get pregnant with a boy, and rub the ears if they want to get pregnant with a girl. And apparently many of the statues have worn down features because of this practice. So that is why I decided to put this love heart being held on the statue. That's not actually in the statues. That was my addition to just kind of represent that whole honeymooners love island kind of idea. On to the next page. Now this page was a lot of fun to do. This is a place called Lotte World, which is basically a Disneyland. This place is the world's largest indoor theme park. And by the sounds of it, it contains absolutely everything: shopping malls, museums, sports facilities, movie theaters, hotels, restaurants, and then it's got all your theme park things as well. Sounds amazing. I have noticed that I say amazing a lot. My apologies. So what I decided to show of Lotte World is the the outdoor amusement park, which is called Magic Island. Now this is on an artificial island that's on a lake just outside the amusement park, and it's linked by monorail. So it looks like the Disneyland castle. All these beautiful blue turrets into the sky and pink. So on this one, I felt I had to add some color to do it justice. So I've added just blue and pink along with my black and gold. And I think it turned out quite nice, like just a fairy tale sort of setting. So this place is definitely on the cards if we ever get to South Korea. Sooner rather than later would be nice while the kids are young. But yeah, definitely one to check out, Lotte World. Now for the final week's setup, some may say I saved the best till last. I decided to give another attempt at a K-pop icon. This one I'd actually heard of a lot before researching, and it's the band BTS. Now I knew I already wanted to do another K-pop band or group because the Korean pop is just such a huge part of Korean culture. And even when I first thought of South Korea, it's actually what my mind went to initially. I didn't know much about the place, but I just knew K-pop was huge, and I'd always seen BTS pop up in other YouTube videos and in music on the radio, people talking about it. Once you hear the word BTS once, you never stop hearing it. It's just everywhere, or they are just everywhere. So I decided to do my best to do 7 portraits in one tiny little space, which was a challenge, but we got there in the end. I didn't go realistic. I couldn't attempt that at this kind of scale. So I've just gone for a slightly cartoonish sort of version of them, all in black and white and grey shades, and then having the pop of gold as well. So if anyone watching is a BTS fan, I hope I did this justice for you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to like this video if you did like it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I love hearing from you guys down in the comments section. Thank you so much for all the love I've been getting from the beginning of the South Korea setup. I'm so glad that you all enjoy it as much as I do. And if you want to offer any suggestions for a sticker range for South Korea, I'm about to create some stickers for the South Korea theme. So if you have anything you'd like to see included in that, just let me know in the comments down below. Cheers guys, I'll see you next week. Bye.